Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kitty. On my channel we like to do a variety of things ranging from vlogs, makeup, lives, story times, and shopping hauls. So if that's something you are interested in, please consider subscribing. As you can tell by the title, some more stories were sent in. If you like scary stories as much as I do, make sure to stick around. In this video, I'm going to be looking down because I'm reading your stories that you sent in. Make sure to stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe while you're at it. Let's go. Walking stick. It was the 90s on the Navajo Reservation in Arizona. It was dark outside. My mother was in the passenger seat and my father was driving. All of my siblings were fast asleep in the back of the camper. They were children back then. They were heading back to the reservation from Phoenix after attending my aunt's wedding. It wasn't long before my father entered the Hopi Reservation. A few hours on the road pass and my dad decides to pull over for a restroom break and check on my siblings in the back. My father checks on my siblings. My mother, on the other hand, went to use the restroom. She looked in front of her and saw a strange dark figure not far from where she was. She brushed it off and went back to the camper. It was mainly just grass and dirt on both sides, but they could see a thing that was off to the side. It was evening and they could barely see what it was. My mom was confused and tells my dad she saw something in the bushes that was moving. They hurry back to the camper and speed down the road. She looked back and sees the figure chasing after them. It was really fast and was moving by the camper. It was moving parallel to the camper right beside it. She and my dad just keep looking back at it as they speed down the road, going well over the speed limit. I asked them how they would describe how it was moving. They said it moved fast and did not appear to have any feet as far as they could tell. They both said as it ran, it was getting skinnier and skinnier until it looked like a tall pole or a stick. They eventually lost the unknown figure. My parents did not go back to our house once they entered the Navajo Res. They drove straight to my father's hometown in New Mexico. By then it was well past midnight and they met with my grandparents and my dad's younger sister. My grandparents told them to go to a medicine man. When they told the medicine man of what they had seen, my parents had a small ceremony done. From then on, they didn't travel down that road again. I asked my mother about it again, and she said she heard about a different medicine man who was driving through the Hopi Reservation. She told me that when he drives, he often sings songs to himself, and he eventually felt something in his truck with him. He looked to his side and saw the very thing my parents saw. It was inside the truck with him. It eventually disappeared. The medicine man could not explain what it was other than a dark, long stick. To this day, my family doesn't know what it was. I was hoping that someone would one day explain what it was. The medicine man gave a vague answer and said it was something related to the Hopi. I was thinking about asking some Hopi people about it, but I don't know. I heard they're very secretive about their stories and traditions. My mother also said that many other Navajo people saw the same thing when going into the Hopi Reservation. I got chills. Again, why am I telling these stories in the dark? Wow. I've heard of people going through the reservation, the Navajo Reservation at nighttime and seeing things on the side of the road, and then when they talk about it with their family or with their Hopi friends, they were told it's those things kind of show up when they're tired and when they're falling asleep, and it's kind of like to scare them back awake, you know, because they're like very sleepy, kind of about to fall asleep on the road, so that like just wakes them up kind of thing. I don't know, that's scary though, sounds scary. Canyons. My father's family back in the 1970s often visited nearby the canyons on the res. My father would have been around a child, and he lived with his parents and siblings. One day, his little sister came back from playing in the canyon. She looked excited, and when my grandparents and father asked her, she said, "I was playing with the black kids." My grandparents were confused. They didn't know that African Americans were living on the Navajo Reservation. As I said, it was the 70s. They just acknowledged it and went on about their day. Time passed, and my father's family heard screaming and crying in the hogan. They saw my father's sister getting choked by a small, dark figure. It did not look human, it was just dark. They run to help her, and the thing disappeared. Oh, I just got chills, I swear. My father's family is very traditional and went immediately to see a medicine man. They were told it was a spirit of a dead Anasazi child. It had followed her home. My aunt today is fine, but to this day my father doesn't allow me to go near the canyons. Sorry this one was short. My father just gave me a short explanation of what happened. I hope your viewers are intrigued by these stories. The main reason why I wanted to share the first story is that I want people in the comments to help give some insight into what my parents saw. Thank you for sending in your stories. Very scary. Why I'm reading these at night? Because by the time I got ready and by the time I got stuff situated, and I don't want my kids to hear these stories, I'm doing it at night. But I have a feeling I'm gonna be wide awake after this. Iraq. I was deployed to Iraq back in 2008, and there's this place near my base called Haditha. Back in 2005, a Marine convoy was hit by an IED, improvised explosive device, and killed a couple of Marines. This sergeant lost his cool and took his Marines and massacred over 20 unarmed civilians. Well, when I was there, my squad leader told us we were going to get dropped off at Haditha, and we were going to do a foot patrol at night through the city. He told us to be very alert because some people in that city really hate Marines because of that massacre. Little did I know it wasn't the people I was going to have contact with. Around 4 p.m., we got dropped off at this abandoned house outside the city. We were posted on the roof and waiting for it to get dark. It got dark, and my squad leader told us to put our night vision goggles on and let's start making our way to the city. I was the radio operator for the squad and carried a big radio on my backpack. Because I had to put my backpack on and adjust it, I was the last one to get off the roof and into the building. One of my friends, we call him Maskell. I could have sworn he was the one waiting for me and was behind me. We were all in this big room in line waiting to walk out, because when you leave a building, we go one by one. As I was moving forward, it felt like my radio antenna was caught on something. So I tried shaking my backpack to get it unstuck, but it wouldn't budge. I tried walking forward, seeing if that would help, but it felt like my antenna was getting pulled back. Thinking it was Maskell, I said, "Maskell, quit effing around and let go of my stuff." My other buddy Martin was in front of me and turned around. He told me, "Dude, there's no one behind you." After he said that, I could see in my night visions his jaw dropped. I freaked out and we both rushed out of that house, and the antenna snapped forward and hit me in the back of the head. Me and Martin were on the same team, and our leader got after us and told us to stop effing around. So we continued going forward with our patrol and headed towards the city. As the radio operator, I had to stay near my squad leader, so I was in the middle of the patrol. We started going up this hill, and when we got to the top, it was a street with nothing but garages and storages all the way down. It was so weird because, no lie, every garage and storage we walked past, the doors were opening slowly, like it was moving along with us. I started getting so nervous. It was dark and quiet, and all you could hear was our boots on the pavement. And then, out of nowhere, the door stopped moving and we heard a kid giggle. It was the summertime in Iraq, and the nights were still hot, but after that laugh, my body got goosebumps and got the chills. I know I'm not the only one who heard it, because we all stopped at the same time and all of our IR lasers came on at the same time. We were looking everywhere around us for whatever that was, and my squad leader said to keep moving. We got back to base around 2 a.m. We did our usual thing, unload our weapons and debrief. We were in our living room area. We were putting our gear and weapons away, and my buddy Mike asked if we all heard that kid. We all heard it. Me and Martin told the squad about what happened in the house. We came to the conclusion that I did see a Marine in that house, but it was probably a spirit of a Marine who died before and probably wanted to leave with us. And the kid was probably a ghost who died during the massacre of some time during the war. We shared our experience with other Marines on base, and they too said there's something about that city that just doesn't feel right. I seriously got chills. When I say I get chills, I am not lying. That's a creepy one. Thank you for your service. Thank you guys for sending these videos in. Very spooky. If you guys are loving these scary stories, please make sure to send yours in. I'll put my email right here where you can send it. Also, you can always DM me, message me on Instagram, as well as TikTok. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.